Welcome to Forgotten Genocides, the channel that dares to unearth the heart-wrenching shadows of history's most silenced tragedies. Today, in our inaugural video, we confront the forgotten genocide that shaped modern Europe, the Porajmos, the devastating annihilation of Europe's Romani and Sinti people during the Holocaust. Imagine entire families, mothers clutching their babies, elders sharing ancient stories around campfires, ripped apart in an instant. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll walk through the pain, the unimaginable cruelty, the fleeting sparks of resistance, and the enduring scars that still haunt our continent. If this moves you, as it should, subscribe now and join us in bearing witness to the forgotten. Let's honor their memory. Together. Picture a people whose roots trace back to the vibrant lands of northern India, wandering into Europe centuries ago, carrying songs, crafts, and a resilient spirit. Yet they were met with hatred, antiziganism, a venomous prejudice that branded them as outcasts. By the early 20th century, they were dehumanized as vermin in the eyes of society, stripped of dignity through laws that chained their freedom. In 1926, Germany, the law for the fight against gypsies, wasn't just words on paper. It was a sentence of suffering, forcing families into labor camps, tearing children from their parents' arms. When the Nazis seized power in 1933, this bigotry ignited into genocide. The Romani were labeled racial enemies, their lives deemed worthless under the Nuremberg laws. Forced sterilizations robbed them of futures, of laughter in unborn generations. Heinrich Himmler's cold bureaucracy, the Central Office for Combating the Gypsy Nuisance, turned neighbors into informants, families into fugitives. Can you feel the terror? The constant fear of a knock at the door, the betrayal in every glance? As World War II erupted in 1939, the nightmare deepened into an abyss of horror. Across occupied Europe, Romani were hunted like animals, deported from their homes, crammed into cattle cars bound for oblivion, the air thick with the stench of fear and despair. In 1942, Himmler's Auschwitz decree sealed their fate. Thousands herded to the gypsy family camp in Birkenau, a mocking facade for a living hell of starvation, typhus ravaging frail bodies, and screams that pierced the night. Here, Dr. Joseph Mengele's sadistic experiments preyed on the most vulnerable, innocent Romani twins, their tiny frames injected with poisons, their agonized cries echoing as he dissected them alive in his quest for twisted science. Beyond the barbed wire, Einsatzgruppen death squads roamed Eastern Europe like specters of death, executing entire villages in cold blood. Mothers desperately shielding their children, only to crumple together in rain-soaked mass graves, the earth swallowing their final breaths. In Croatia's Jasenovac camp, the atrocities defied humanity, with families torn limb from limb in ways that make the soul shudder. But in this darkness, a raw, defiant spark ignited, the emotional pinnacle of unimaginable bravery. On May 16, 1944, as whispers of liquidation spread through the camp like a chilling wind, Romani prisoners, starved, beaten but unbroken, rose up. Armed with nothing but shovels, stones, and the fire of their indomitable spirit, they charged the SS guards, their voices roaring in a symphony of resistance that shook the gates of hell itself. For a fleeting moment, hope flickered amid the chaos. But it was crushed. On August 1944, a night forever stained in blood and tears, 4,300 souls, including over 3,000 women and children, were herded into the gas chambers. Imagine the final embraces, the whispered, "I love yous," the children's terrified sobs silenced forever in a cloud of poison. The Porajmos didn't just kill, it devoured the essence of life, leaving an echoing void that screams across generations. The toll defies comprehension. Estimates cry out of 220,000 to 500,000 lives extinguished, perhaps up to 1.5 million, as historian Ian Hancock mourns. Entire bloodlines vanished in flames. In some countries, not a whisper of Romani heritage remained. This wasn't mere killing. It was the savage erasure of a culture. Melodies forever muted, stories buried in unmarked graves, a people's vibrant soul shattered into irretrievable fragments. The survivors' haunted eyes carry the weight of worlds lost, their trauma a living wound passed down like a cursed inheritance. And how has this cataclysm shaped our modern Europe? In the smoldering ruins of war, survivors clawed for justice, only to be met with cruel denial. West Germany's refusal of reparations until 1982, dismissing racial hatred as criminality, inflicted fresh agony, but it ignited a righteous fire that forged new paths for human rights. Today, August 2nd burns as Romani Holocaust Memorial Day, a solemn vow against oblivion. Yet, Europe's 10 to 12 million Romani still battle segregation, poverty, and echoes of that ancient hatred, a searing reminder that the Porajmos' ghosts linger. This genocide birthed the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, compelling us to shield the fragile flame of humanity. It forces us to confront, what if it were your loved ones? Your legacy? Will we let history's screams fall silent again? The Porajmos isn't distant history. It's a thunderous cry from the depths, imploring us to shatter the chains of hate before they bind us all. By amplifying these voices, we reclaim stolen dignity, mending the torn fabric of our shared humanity. If this video has pierced your heart, if the weight of these lost souls crushes your spirit and ignites your resolve, like it now, pour your emotions into the comments. What fury or sorrow does the Porajmos awaken in you? Share this far and wide, a beacon against forgetting. Subscribe to Forgotten Genocides for more unflinching truths, like our next gut-wrenching dive into World War II's most heinous war crimes. Thank you for standing with us in this storm of remembrance. In their names we rise, for history ignored is humanity forever betrayed.